All right, let's
Yeah,
see
you
if this
better.
is this on? Okay, it's on. Where is that prompt of mine? I don't remember how to run a game. It's been too long. I only know how to talk about running games.
You should make sure that all of Morgan's rolls are bad and all of my rolls are good.
True.
Hey, I gave you good rolls for your next character. Shut up, bitch.
Right.
Necromancer. I'm gonna have to erase the Hispanic version of Necromancer.
Your
I kinda-
necromancer is going to be good for. You're going to have a character with good rolls. You're going to be happy.
So,
Honestly, if the character's funny, I'm happy. Sorry.
the preface for this game is mostly to simply test the 0th level system, which it's not necessarily going to be a good test if it's only going to be like 4 games. So it's kind of not the big part of this. More so, it's just to make sure that I could actually play on Thursdays. As it is, I could barely think. So, with that out of the way, you guys all read the prompt, read the premise. You guys are a bunch of kids, or at least you were kids. Now you're probably more in the teenager zone. When the church, the Lights Watch Church, has picked you guys up in an investigation to see whether or not you all contain the arcane heresy. Well, it's not talked much about inside or outside the walls, for that matter, of Lights Watch. Most people would know that the arcane heresy is essentially the magi, the sorcerer class. Though you, as kids, might not know that specifically, your parents or masters, although I'm pretty sure you're all humans, decided, let them go to church. Hopefully, our children aren't cursed and won't be executed, whatever. So, the lot of you are taken to Lights Watch and are interrogated. It is a long and grueling process. Most of you are just asked simple questions here or there, and then you start getting asked more aggressive questions, and eventually the interviews sort of drive into a place of what's the word? Threats. Become very threatening. They're trying to provoke you in some way to make you reveal your arcane heresy. After a series of, simple tests of being yelled at, being pushed around, being threatened to death, having your entire family killed in front of you and then killed afterwards, to being prodded with instruments, to being treated with divine energies. Eventually, you guys are all cleared for not being arcane heretics. There we go. That's good display. At the end of these interrogations, you end up meeting with a couple of the higher level clergy, one paladin and her sidekick, Sinar Casis and Winna Silverfrond, the cold cleric. They have a much softer interrogation. It's more of a getting to know you kind of deal. And despite them being elves, they seem to be much more amenable to you. And eventually, once the conversation has ended, they encourage you to go and develop your magical powers, as you are not arcane heretics. You are instead the learned magi, the wizard. With a short conversation involving your parents, they all agree that this is probably the best thing for you, as they may or may not have the ability to help foster your arcane powers. So you get sent off to Sheffield. I guess we could also go to the world map right now. You
Going to Sheffield, in it.
In it.
get sent off to this place. One of the more metropolis-esque cities in the world. Resembles more of a Victorian era English city rather than whatever my other cities resemble. There, you are under the tutelage of Melodin of the Hills.
Jarmo, what the fuck is your name? There's no fucking way you named your character Ava, you bitch. There's no fucking way.
Took him that long to
Yeah,
notice.
check his sheet. Check his sheet.
No,
There's no way.
I'm the one who put the names on the tokens.
That is,
That is in fact correct.
Oh my god.
You spend the next 2 years under the tutelage of Melodin of the Hills. He is a wise and learned magi who served in the War of Man. And through his tutelage, you have become familiar with the concept of magic that is fueled by the arcane. And through that, you guys have learned a few basic finger spells or cantrips. Throughout all this, the history lessons, the history of magic, the uprising and the subsequent hunting down of the magi, various field trips that you take to go and study the ecology of the Fae and the Non, and sometimes like the Nakandra that have run through the place but have been long gone, and learning how material components play with your magical abilities and how they indirectly or directly catalyze the ability to cast spells. That becomes your day-to-day. There are maybe about 12 other kids in total in Melodin's, under Melodin's wing. And you are 4 of them.
Is Melodin a big purple guy?
Is what?
Is he big and purple?
No. He is, he's Gandalf with blue robes.
So
Not
he's Blue
Gandalf.
Doll.
Dumbledore. He's Dumbledore at blue robes.
Man, can we go back to Gandalf? He's cooler.
Dumbledore wasn't bad.
The lake next to Bethel looks like a penis.
Okay.
Someone's got something on his mind. So, you guys spend you spend 2 years under his tutelage. You guys learn magic in the best ways you can. You even begin to learn an actual spell. And when you actually learn to cast that spell, it is a big deal for the lot of you because you're not even full-fledged wizards. Why don't you all share with each other what that spell is? Starting with Ava, and also describe your character.
I look like a Fumo IRL.
A funky one?
A smoke one.
The one that the haunted Fumo that eats all your food at midnight.
Yeah.
And your spell? What does the class know you for?
I do a little twirl, and a wizard hat appears on my head.
Okay. Chud.
Fucking Chud.
I learned to cast the spell Holy Radiance.
All right.
What does the class know me for? My predictions.
And what might
Wait,
those
holy
predictions
radiance?
be? Wait, did you do this right again? I always got problems with you and
Right.
spells.
How did I fuck up? You were like, take a spell, and I was like, level 1 spell. Where did I see that?
The hell is holy radiance?
In custom common spells.
Oh, okay. Is it?
It was a
It
light
says
spell.
wizard or arcane, right? Oh, it's a light one.
No, it says divine.
No.
That's a divine one.
We're arcane, boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. Straight up.
Hey, fucking better, chud.
I mean, if he's an elf,
Casting never happens.
Wait, what type of
Casting.
elf?
I'm a human.
never mind then.
Yeah, you're all humans.
Wait, what type of human? Oh god, we're all human. We're all vanilla.
That's it. Fuck you. Darkness lights out.
Right.
Hey, we're
The-
really trying to be a chud. A
It was
chud
like-
of the darkness.
The bit was like a fucking a Garthen drill illuminates the room around me.
He goes, nothing
Now I'm
ever,
cold posting.
nothing ever happens. I cast darkness. I can't see it.
True.
If I didn't see it, it
Monkey,
didn't happen.
monkey see no evil.
All right, the Dumbledore spell. Next, Claude. What does the class know you for?
Hideous laughter. Because I rolled for it.
Sure. One of the most powerful first level spells.
He definitely rolled for it.
So
Mhm.
I have. So
I actually did.
so I gotta ask first.
Okay.
Can I take puppet as a spell?
What is puppet?
He controls me, the Fumo.
Not two goblins in a trench coat again, man.
Yeah, it says here it's a first level enchantment spell that lets me force a humanoid or something into Constitution throw, and then if they fail, they move into a direction.
What
What?
spell?
What is it from? Because I don't see it.
Oh, I just grabbed it from the wiki dot, so it's Unearth Arcana.
What's the spell name?
Let me see. It's called puppet. Where's the filter? Is Unearth Arcana not on 5e tools?
Unearthed Arcana 36.
Puppet UA. Good old wiki dot. Your gesture forces one humanoid you can see within range to make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target must move up to its speed in a direction you choose. In addition, you may cause the target to drop whatever it's holding. Still has no effect on a humanoid that is immune to being charged. You know what? Yeah, that's fine.
So will I be able to take it?
Yes, I'll allow it.
Well, it also depends. What wizard thing did you choose?
That is also important because you
It's enchantment.
are you an enchantment wizard or opposed to enchantment at all?
Nope. That's why I picked it. It was a School of Enchantment.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, you can take it.
yours. Okay, so
And,
you guys
and
all
I mean,
have,
to be fair, if you had given me, if I had chosen spell, I would just worry barbs.
you guys all have your signature spells that you're known for. And there are other kids around here too. One of them is known for casting sleep. And my plethora of spell knowledge, I will go down the list and tell you what all the other kids are known for, but I don't actually remember any spells from this game. Who knew?
Grease,
Yeah, grease. Someone has grease, someone has gust.
and he's really greasy. Gust is a cantrip.
What's the spell
Oh.
version?
I don't think it's first level.
No?
Okay, you know what? One of them is known for mage armor.
Yes, one of them is in fact known for mage armor.
You know, one of them does unseen servant, and their servant always seems to be getting a bit more. Yeah.
One might say jorking his peanuts.
Yeah, you know what? His name is Jorkin.
Jurgen.
Since I'm a fool, I have to repair myself vehement.
Sorry, nobody has mending. You're just gonna slowly wither away.
Okay, well, this one of them is known for identifying they nearly kill themselves every day. the suicidal kid.
He tries to investigate magical items, but the items he has aren't magical and everybody knows it. Yeah, one kid has alarm. One kid knows healing word. There's one kid that has hex.
Healing word is divine, hex is warlock.
Well, I filtered out everything that wasn't wizard, so it's oh, hold on. Why didn't that stick? My wizard filter is not sticking. There we go. Yeah, you know, ray of sickness, witch bolt. That kid's particularly weird. Likes to harm small animals. Just catch witch bolt on them beyond their death. That kind of thing. Not everyone here is of sane mind. Regardless, you guys probably have a better life now than you've had before. Maybe except for the black bloom among you. Regardless, one day, Melodin takes you all out for a trip towards the hills, where you'll be looking for the scales of an ashwalker that has recently passed through the region and has been fended off by the Light Brigade, the army of elves that make up the bulk of Karstock's military force. And that will take you up to around here. It is a long trek. There are a bunch of you going. There's what, 16 of you plus Melodin plus his assistant.
Are we supposed to be in the map thingy instead of
yeah,
the whiteboard?
We're not on the map.
Yeah, I guys could have said something when I said maybe we could go to the world map.
No, we just want you to get embarrassed.
Wow, thanks. Thanks, guys. I love my
tokens-
players. That's why I talk so
my
much shit about you
tokens-
guys every recording.
My token is my old one.
Your old one?
Yeah, it's Wrath.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I just
world
didn't delete
map.
those.
Yeah,
it's
just-
from the old campaign.
Just drag your token on.
Y solté.
In that
I
campaign,
don't see my new one.
clashing autisms just couldn't allow to continue. So, about 2 squares north of Sheffield is where you guys are headed. It's 16 of you students plus Melodin plus his assistant, a rather strange gnome who doesn't seem to have the ability to speak. But they
Hey, Rowan's back.
they are quite adept at at casting magics. Well known for making food with magic.
Yeah, I don't see my character again.
I
So
checked
you go to actors, mini campaign, and it should be there.
I don't have anything there. I only have players and I see Wrath.
Really?
Yep. I
Never
don't
mind,
have
I
mini
see it.
campaign.
That's weird. Why can Harmu see it? Can you
I
see
got
it,
mine.
Morgan?
Yeah.
See what?
The folder with your token, your current token.
Yeah, it's under mini campaign.
Oh,
I was
You
left
said
out of the mini
we were
campaign.
from
I guess you
Sheffield.
guys are just retarded.
I found mine, but then Rowan's still on the field.
This is what I'm looking at when I look over there.
Okay, I'm blind. Where's Sheffield?
Huh.
The Two Rivers by.
Oh, there it
Why
is.
does it do this?
For some reason, I was thinking Sheffield was up near Lights Watch itself.
What? You know, I really don't understand this program sometimes. Like, there has to be some special way to make these things. Because it's just not showing the right token. Even though I assigned it manually right now in the actual thing. Nope. Alright. So,
Oh yeah, Haiku has a one.
yeah, I don't know why it's doing that either.
I think it's because I still have Rowan on the field.
No, I
it's
have
because
his ulti on the field.
it's because of the link actor data is not applying to your token for some reason when I. It should be good
Oh,
now.
okay.
It's fine. All right, so you guys and your troop of
I can't move my dude.
God damn it.
Highlight it.
I am. I'm clicking on it and don't do nothing.
Let's see. I'll delete them and then I'll put.
You want me to sign out and sign in and see if that changes anything?
No, that shouldn't be the problem. Your ownership. Owner. You should be good. All
We're
right.
so back.
All
Please
right.
ticket.
So, your
Something
your
might have
wizardly
happened.
your wizardly party heads off north towards the hills. Now, you guys have gone over
It's a
here
school trip.
once or twice. Yes, a field trip. Though never to look for the scales of an Ashwalker dragon. All of you are well educated in the subject of the dragons. You know that Ashwalkers are particularly dangerous and almost mindless at times. It's like they're often compared to a ciliax or a dire bear. They attack first, eat second, care never.
Wait, hold on. Is there a celiax nearby?
Not that you know of. You once heard of a ciliax that was on the road of the slave way a few, maybe like 50 to 100 miles to the east of you currently,
Yeah, okay.
that attacked
To the
passersby.
east? Shouldn't be to the west?
West. I get those mixed up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around here, there was a celiac sighting and it just attacked a bunch of caravans. Weird stuff.
Yeah.
Oh boy, they're trying to kill us.
You also have heard from time to time that passerbys on this road get attacked by rabbits, and
Oh no.
oftentimes those rabbits like to ride upon boars. There was a recent skirmish
And frogs and stuff like
of
that.
kobolds going to war with the rabbits. The kobolds had a Pyrrhic victory. But that's old news. That was sometime during the spring. Right now it is summer. It is June 6th, 18 WP. The heat is the temperature is starting to rise, but down here in Sheffield it's rather cool still. It's a mild 75 degrees. Although I guess that is pretty warm for an English themed place. Let's see, where is okay. Reading. I totally had tons of time to prepare for this game. Reading. Once you get to the spot that Milladin wants you guys to start looking around, he starts to select the lot of you and put you into groups. You guys will go, he assigns one group to go this way, look over here, go this way, look over here, and then he gives you a bunch of signs to avoid. If you see any of these signs, you are to report directly back to the main camp that you guys are currently in the process of finishing setting up. The 4 of you are put together in a group. Alright. As you guys go and search the hills, you take to a small canyon, and you see a small figure off in the distance by a ledge. They seem to be sitting atop the ledge. You guys do anything? Do you wish to do anything?
Do they wear a funny hat?
No, but they do wear a rather heavy linen robe, from what it looks like.
Stranger danger.
That is true, stranger danger.
Ignore them.
Okay.
I think we'll ignore them.
You continue on your path. The path you guys take is slightly winding and does go up and down a little bit. Eventually you get to a smaller canyon, and in the canyon you'll see a glint of green. Please make me wisdom, perception, or intelligence checks.
I imagine that he has like real bad fucking eyes.
Damn!
Oh god, wrong one.
Look at this guy. Point at him and laugh.
Yeah, shut up. At least I passed my roll, bitch.
Yeah, I don't need to see anything. Nothing's gonna happen. There's nothing there. I don't have to see it.
Perception, by the way.
Okay.
Also perception.
Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens, huh, Chud?
No, nothing ever happens. I don't know why he took us all the way out here. We're not gonna find it.
So, the Ava and Claude, as you guys peer down into the ravine, you see that there are...
Fucking damn it, Argo.
You guys do, in fact, see that there is the glint of green is sort of sticking out of the sand in the bottom of the ravine, as the path you guys have taken has brought you closer to the tannin waste itself while still being in the hills. It is a small cluster of little green fragments. What do you guys do?
Do you guys think that's the scale?
I try and remember what an Ashwalker dragon's colors are. Aren't they supposed to be gray?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check. And throw a +4 on top of it. You guys have been educated on the subject of these dragons.
Terrible history.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Damn, never mind. Damn, son.
As I drag your token to see your name, Moya, you remember that Ashwalkers come in a whole cacophony of colors. Red, green, blue. There is the rare purple. There is the striped one that has it's a combination of orange with blue stripes. Black, brown. There is the copper and bronze variants. They come in a lot of colors. Green is a particularly rare color variant for this region. This area is more common to have red and striped.
Ah. I walk past Chud because he knows nothing. He does nothing.
She's gonna get screwed by something again, isn't she, Chud?
I'm gonna follow Moya.
Okay.
Just to remind her that nothing is gonna happen and that that's not the scale, and I'm gonna insist that the scale should be gray.
Okay. So
Nothing
you
ever happens. It's a green scale. Come on.
guys go down to check out the scales, or what you think to be scales.
Yes.
Yes.
You go down into the ravine. It's from where you guys have already been standing, it's not too far down. There is a small series of outcroppings you guys can just drop down to, each drop being about waist high. And you make it down into the bottom of the ravine. What about Ava and Claude?
Does it look like a scale?
I mean, you see green, but it's kind of in the sand.
I hate sand. It's rough and it gets in everything.
All right, so you guys stay atop the ravine.
Yeah, just gonna sit down on the edge and watch these two.
I will look around, see if there's any herbs or something like that around, or
Sure.
mushrooms, stuff like that.
There's plenty of flora around. If you want anything specific, you could always make a check for it. Wisdom or
I don't
survival.
want any specific, but I want
Just want a general inventory.
yeah.
You find plenty of things. There's a
Alright.
dragon's wort, wolfsbane. You find some chamomile
Uh-huh.
and a particular, what is it called? White cap mushrooms of some sort.
Okay.
Chud and Canna, you guys get to the spot where the little green specks are found, and they're there in the sand, and you see some poking out of the sand, and one of them is particularly large, and it does look like a large green scale. As for the rest, you'll have to do a little bit of digging, not a lot. But there are a lot of scales here that look like they've been splintered into pieces.
Chud, go check it out. Nothing ever happens when you do something.
All right, no, I will. I will. I'm gonna show you this isn't a scale, and you're wrong. And a woman. I head off to go check.
Alright? You brush the sand aside and start to pick at the green splinters. And the big piece is in fact a scale. It is what's a good it's about the size of your hand, this big green one. And the rest are all sort of splintered and fragmented into pieces.
What the fuck?
As you dig through, you hear a whistle coming out from down the ravine. It's sort of a long drawn out one. Not like a quick to get your attention, but more like a kind of thing.
I yell at Chud, ignore it. Grab those scales so we can head back up.
Can I see the source of like where this is coming from? Since I'm perched up higher than they are, of course.
Yeah, if you're paying attention to the scene.
Yeah.
You see a small figure walking up the ravine towards your two classmates.
What's it look like? Tall, short?
Short, has a staff about 3 times its height, is in heavy linen robes, brown linen.
Would I recognize this as like a teacher or something, or a student.
You've never seen this person in your life. No one in your accompaniment has such a cheap linen wear. And they're also too
Were
short.
we warned of like any dangers in this area?
Yes, so you were warned that this area has plenty of dragons. There are the occasional swarms of rat kobolds, but if they're in numbers smaller than 50, you don't have to worry about them. There's the occasional party of dog kobolds, but because you guys are what the dog kobolds like to call sparkle fingers, you guys can just make them scurry off with a little bit of magic here and there, not even having to hit them. You have been told that on occasion you might come across a desert elf, and whether or not they are a danger to you could just be a coin flip. They've been known to be quite aggressive or completely passive. But this figure is too small to be an elf, too tall to be a rat, possibly a dog kobold.
Is it a gnome?
Uh,
And can I
possibly
see
a
it from
gnome.
where I'm at?
You can, but the hood covers its face. Possibly a gnome.
Also, for parents, like that super stereotypical like Japanese school kid, like with the bald cut. I'm thinking we're going with that for the haircut and shit.
What do you guys do?
I'll wait till Chud grabs the scale, and then I'm already getting ready to go start climbing up.
I'm getting out with the scale.
You guys.
I continue with my stuff, but pay attention to the figure.
Okay.
Same. Just in case.
Chud and Moya, you guys got what you came for. You climb back up the ravine. And the figure, while you guys get out of the way, stops doing the whistle. It approaches where you guys are just digging. And it seems to also be investigating the patch of scales that were, if any, left behind.
Is it calling to us? I look back and I'm like, you can take the rest, and then I would keep on climbing up.
It momentarily looks in your direction when you call out to it, but it doesn't call that back to you. And if you look back, you'll see it poking around the spot with its staff. Once again, the staff about 3 times its own height.
Heckin' Monkey King.
Okay, you guys have found what looks like to be the large green scales of a dragon. The one that's intact is somewhat heavy, surprisingly heavy, maybe about 5 pounds, and rather thick, maybe about half an inch. And the splinters, if you try to piece some of them together, will form up like half a scale, and it is in fact the same kind of scale. Rather heavy, rather thick, and very green.
So I keep climbing up.
Okay, you make it to the top of the ravine. Ava, Claude, anything you guys are doing?
So was it the scale we're looking for?
Come and just died.
As always.
It's because you keep saying Ava.
His GPU croaks at the thought of the word. If not followed by Divine or Nyx.
So Moya, was it what we're looking for?
Hello. My computer blew up.
Yes. So, you've made it back to the top of the ravine with Moya. Judd, as Claude asks if it's the scale you guys are looking for.
No. Moya thinks it is, but it's green. And I know the ash dragon would be gray.
I put my palm to my head. It's the scale, Chud. Something did happen.
It's
Every time
not, and Milladin's gonna tell me I'm right.
I mean, yeah, it's the wrong color.
I will puppet both of you off this cliff. Let's go.
Walk back to Milladin.
You walk back to the camp.
I will
Uh,
ask if I can have a splinter of scale.
I will give him a splinter of the scale.
Okay,
Or
Ava,
her.
you have a splinter of the scale. A splintered scale, rather.
I will pocket the splinter scale.
Poke which part of it?
A pocket.
Pocket. Got it. You pocket the scale.
How big is this? How big is it?
The splinter or the scale?
The splinter with the scale.
The scale itself is about the size of a adult human male's hand. The splinter is 2 fingers.
And the splinter is definitely from the scale?
The splinter is definitely from the same type of scale. You have 1 whole scale and like 3 splinters.
So I assume if Claude tried like mending it, wouldn't actually take because it's like the wrong part of it.
You can always try. You can match them up as best you can and attempt to mend it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right? So Ava pocketed 1 piece. You have 2 other pieces, and you attempt to push them together, and you cast mending on them. As the minute goes by, the cantrip goes off. You subtract 1 from your cantrip pool, and the scales meld together, or the splinters meld together. So now it's more like 3 fingers and a hand.
Ta-da! Well, at least it's matching.
So now you have 1 whole scale and about 2/3 of a scale. All right, you guys
But
head
what
back to
if we
camp.
had 2 full scales? Would you rather have $1 or 2?
I'd rather have 2 gold than 1 gold.
You guys make it back to camp. There are a few of the other groups that have returned already. Most of them empty-handed. One of them seems to have found some scales of their own, and they're talking to Milladin at this point in time. Milladin sees you guys approach, and do you have the scale out?
Yeah, I have it in my hand.
All right. He notices you, and he waves to you guys to approach.
I walk up to him.
I see your efforts have not gone in vain.
See, I told you it's a dragon scale.
Oh, but it's not the right scale. It's a green scale. A ash dragon would have a gray scale, right, Milladin? Mr. Milladin.
An ash walker comes in many colors. a gray one in this region would be a bit out of the ordinary. But so is a green one. Let me see that.
I hand him the scale.
He takes a scale and he looks at it. He pulls out one of his of his bag a like magnifying glass. I don't know what you call those things that you use to appraise gems. If they have a specific name or not. It's one of those things. He takes it, looks at it, flicks it a couple times. He holds it out a little bit and then points his finger, and a little fireball comes flying out of it, and it deflects off the scale. Like, yes, this is in fact quite a hardy dragon indeed. I'm surprised the Light Brigade was able to repel such a beast. Where did you find this one?
Down over in that ravine.
It was in pieces.
In pieces, you say? That's quite interesting.
And when they were in the ravine, this person was like whistling.
A person?
And they were like, yeah, they were like, yay high.
Interesting.
It had a cheap looking robe.
Awfully short. Could be a gnome, but they're not known for wearing such cheap robes. If a gnome was wearing a robe in these parts, it would be black, and he'd be awoken, and you would know to run away from him. Did he say anything?
It was just whistling.
Yeah, I think he was just whistling and came over to the pieces of the dragon to check it out.
Must be
We ignored
a
him.
local of some sort. Curious. Young Clyde's group has found scales from 2 different colored dragons, neither of them green. One red, and the other one black. But a green one being here as well. Now that is quite interesting. Now, can any of you tell me, what would a black dragon be doing in the hills here? Come now.
Well, nothing good.
Can I make a memory check if this is something we've been taught?
Yeah, go ahead. I expect you to. Because you don't actually know, for real.
Nope.
Okay, I will also
Heat stroke.
Moya and Ava, you would know that during the summer, the black dragons tend to roam from their normal resting places of the mountains. And they come down here to the hills for warmer temperatures.
Is that a natural migration or are they invasive?
It's a bit of both. They don't belong in this region, but they do prefer the warmer weather. Adversely, the red dragons tend to prefer colder weather despite being dragons of fire. Although black dragons themselves are also dragons of fire. It's a curious ecology these things tend to have. But now, if a black dragon and a red dragon were to do battle, who would win? Anyone?
The red dragon.
The black one.
And why would the black one win, young Claude?
Claude just likes black dragons.
Because the black one is better suited for the environment?
Well, it seems you need to do a little more studying. But Chud, you are correct. The red dragon would win simply because he does not fear fire. The black dragon, despite his great heat, is not immune to the flame. Now, the black dragon is a bit more powerful in limb, but the red dragon, being able to shrug off the mighty magma rock that he will spew, is enough for him to win combat. Unless, of course, he is much younger than the black dragon. and you, Claude, should keep to your studies. Knowing the ecology of a dragon is quite important for people of our kind. Now, I'm sure all of you can answer this question. Who would win in a fight between the green dragons and the black and red dragons of the land?
Red dragons.
And why is that?
I'd say the green one, considering you just showed us that the fire just bounces off of it.
Well, Chud, you are wrong. I know that the many different biologies of these creatures can be quite confusing. The green dragon would in fact draw with the red dragon, as well as the black dragon, as neither of these creatures are immune to each other's special breath weapons. The green spewing poison, the red and black spewing flame and magma rock. All of them will succumb to each other's weapons before even having to trade blows. Now, I am sure you've all had a time going out there and doing your exploring. Did you see anything else of particular note? Aside from your stout friend who seemed to also be investigating these strange phenomena.
Can I recall if there seemed to be any signs of a fight or fire around?
Make me an intelligence check. Nope, you were invested in finding some plants.
All right, but none of them were burnt or anything like that.
None of them were burnt. You know what? Give me another intelligence check and throw a +2 onto it. There were lots of patches of grass and plant that looked like they were trampled, but it was much more violent. It wasn't simply just a beast walking by. It was maybe a tumbling beast, perhaps?
All right, I will tell that to the professor.
To Melodin?
Yes. It seemed like it might have been either wounded and looking for somewhere to hide.
Oh. So, a potential battle had ensued, and now our green dragon is looking for a place to lick its wounds. Very well.
Well, probably went in the direction that the gnome was going then. Because the gnome wouldn't be coming from the dragon's direction.
Why not? For all you know, that supposed gnome has already found the dragon and is looking where it came from, not where it's going to. But of course we will not know unless we speak to the individual, now should we? Now would we? I think that a lot of you have earned your credits for today. I will have somebody... no. I'll have Yangon summon his familiar and have him swoop through the ravine to see if there are any more signs of that dragon. We will be doing our best to avoid the actual creature itself. What we have come here for are these. And he takes the scale and he hands it back to Chud.
I take the scale.
Do beyond your wits to find more, even if they're not in a singular piece. It will become very useful for us in our next lesson when we return home. Now, run off. Lunch should be ready soon. You are free for your studies, but try not to wander off too far. And he turns to another group of students that are approaching him.
The dragons made between colors.
Is that a question in character or out of
Yes.
character?
In character.
From time to time, generally most ashwalkers can interbreed.
That's disgusting.
It is a bit of a majesty when it's successful. Oftentimes you get a singular dragon of a singular color, much like if when a human were to breed with an elf, the female will give birth to its own race. However, there are times where dragons will sometimes have a blended color, though we're not entirely sure how that works, seeing as how the purple Ashwalker is nothing like the red nor the blue.
Could one dragon have multiple colors?
Well, we have not seen too many multicolored Ashwalkers. There's always the prismatic Skyborn that tends to carry about at least 2 or 3 colors of its own. But there are no Skyborn in this region, thankfully for us. And then Meladin will drone on about a time where he saw a red Ashwalker that had stripes of yellow along its carapace. But he doesn't say anything important. It's more like an old man talking about an old story. And you're the grandchild who has to sit there and just be like, oh God, yes, Grandpa.
Man, it must suck to be a dragon, and it's like, one dragon is a red, and then, your dad's like a shitty white one.
What the fuck? What are you supposed to do with this?
No, but I mean, like, if they interbreed and it's like, because you take after the mom dragon, it's like you could have had, the really cool dragon side, and instead you get like the weakest dragon.
Prime material for someone named Chud Jackington.
I'm not sure how to respond to that. Wait, that's
I mean, Chud, you're the one who really likes researching dragons.
No, I don't. What makes you like shoot? I think red dragons are based, and every other dragon is not, especially
Based on
wild.
what?
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. I will ask Moya. I will ask Moya if she wants the scale, since she was right.
I'll take it.
I hand it to Moya, and then I'm gonna go off and brood in my room or tent. Set up my tent and brood in my tent till lunch.
Brood parenthesis your kid.
No, gooning the lonely Chud does not goon his vril.
Okay. You guys go your own ways. After about an hour, the assistant of Meladin, Yongren, he will call out for everyone to tell you that lunch is served. There's one long table for you all to sit at as more and more little poofs and puffs of food start to appear on the table. Yongrin, a strange gnome. Doesn't say much. Most of the time he does speak to you guys. It's to announce that it is time to eat.
What's our food?
I don't know. Think of something. It's probably there.
We're in Sheffield, so Lord knows.
Beef and ale pie. Sausage and a roll. Roasted tomatoes and beans.
Mushy peas and chips.
Mushy peas and chips.
Beans on toast.
Chicken tikka masala.
No,
Wait.
we're having beans on toast.
Indar has not
and
spread this way.
and jellied eels.
Ugh. I
Toast
shudder.
sandwich.
I shudder thinking about British food.
What, do you don't like curry?
Yeah, you don't like biryani?
I prefer Thai curry. Although Thai curry and Indian curry are kind of similar. A lot of coconut milk. You guys begin eating. Everyone here seems to be enjoying the food. A large hawk comes and lands on Yongrin's shoulder and pecks at him a couple times. He waves it off a bit, but it pecks some more. And he looks at it annoyed. And then he goes and walks off to Meladrin, who's off on his own little table, eating alone. And then Meladrin gets up and approaches you four. If the four of you are busy eating, I could give you some time, but I would like to talk to the lot of you about your encounter in the ravine. And then he walks back to his table.
It was probably just a gnome wandering around. Why does Milton think it's a big deal?
I mean, it's not like dragons can turn themselves into gnomes.
You know, I hate the food anyways. Let's go with the teacher.
What, you don't like the jellied eels? It's a Lights Watch speciality.
Chet didn't eat. He was too busy trying to wipe the mushy peas aside from the chips.
You know, at least if we were actually back in Lights Watch, we could have some VFC once in a while.
One of the kids overhears you. You know, VFC is made from Necandra.
Yeah, but it tastes good, don't it?
That's what they all say.
They use Necandra as filler. Just like they used to use rats in Velador. But that's also the weird kid who's known for having unseen servant. So,
Tell him he's retarded and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Then go with Moya.
Go play with your unseen servant, Jorkin.
It's Jurgen, and I will. You guys go speak to Meladin. Ah, yes, you four. This person, individual, creature, whatever the lot, did it say anything to you in particular?
Nope. what it did was it whistled a very long whistle.
God, it was annoying.
And in an instant, that small robed figure appears beside Milladin. I believe it sounded like that, correct?
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yes. Well, our little friend here, as he points to the hawk upon, falcon upon Yongrin's shoulder. The bird friend of our esteemed assistant saw him off in the ravine, and it seems the two of them had words. This is just a facsimile as he waves the illusion away. According to the familiar, he wishes to speak with the lot of you. Would you be willing to go out and find him one more time?
What do you want to talk to us about?
He did not say, but he did say it was important. Or unimportant. I'm not familiar with his language all that well.
Can't be that important. Nothing ever happens in Sheffield.
Us, in Sheffield, but we are in the hills of Old Valenka. Of course, if you carry out this task, you will all receive more credits for your endeavors here.
We're in.
Good.
We'll go talk to him.
Good.
Chud needs it.
I don't need anything.
You don't need the credit.
Make up for your lack of dragon studies. Now, our mysterious friend will be in the same ravine atop of it, not down in the cliff sides where you found the scales. It shouldn't be too long. It's not that far from here. And reports back immediately after your conversation. I wish to know as much as he is willing to provide.
Give us a salute, and we'll go.
Alright. You guys head off back to Ravine. It takes a while. It's about an hour's walk. And you will find the small robed figure at the side of the ravine where you guys were looking down at the patch of scales. The robed figure is already facing your direction, and you'll hear once more as it waves the staff slightly.
I whistle back the same tune.
Is his response. Do you approach?
I approach.
Yeah.
Yarp.
Alright. You stand before the robed figure. It is about half your guys' height. Assuming you're all
Are you a
between
dragon?
the ages of 12 and 14, it is definitely just half your guys' height. It looks at you. And what exactly is dragon to you?
Big lizard.
Ah. No.
Salamander with wings.
Dragon. Wings. I am not a woman. He reveals his hood, and you see before you what one would call a hill kobold, or a draconic kobold. And since all of you are astute students, you would know that the draconic kobolds are the intelligent species of the kobold races. He is maybe 2.5 feet tall. Has a scar on his snout. His eyes are vibrant red. His scales are more of a brass mixed with green, like a rusted brass kind of color.
Ah, so it's a small lizard.
Yes.
I say that in character.
He chuckles a bit. Yes, small lizard. Not big lizard like the ones that roam the hills. You know fur. You find the thing in the ravine, correct?
Correct.
I show them it. I show them the scale.
Ah, yes. It would be of utmost importance to keep that away from yourselves and anyone that you might care about, so long as you're here in these hills. But I will not force you to do anything. It is merely suggestion. It is a urgent suggestion, I will say. How
It's
you
just a
say?
scale, though.
I lack the human tongue. Big bad. And
Is the owner looking for them?
it depends on who you believe to be owner of said thing. The
Oh.
big fish would not care too much. However, the again I lack human tongue. The bagul may want back.
The Gabagul?
Yes, the bagul. Do any of you have North Common or North Gutter as a language?
No.
I'm a Freelander. Do I have that?
Ooh, you should have North Common, I think.
Okay.
That's the word for Nicandra.
So why are the Gabagul down here?
The bagul is everywhere. It's in, well, everywhere but actual Velenka. It's in the Karstock, it's in the Grasp, it's in the Lights Watch, the Badlands, the place with all the crazy people up north, far north beyond the desert. It's in the Stampede Hills. I don't think they are in Rose, or the Foro, or the Kiden, but they are everywhere.
And why do they want this?
It's this is I forget the word once more. He says some Russian-esque gibberish. You know the word to be irregular. It is a class of bagul. They are very different from most. Most just like to eat and devour, or maybe build a home for those who eat and devour. This one is unique. Do you know much of the creature known as a lion?
The cat?
The big cat, yes.
Uh-huh.
It is it takes its form after a lion. The big ones from the desert. It has a territory. And anything inside the territory it decides it is his enemy. It belongs to him.
Wait, so it's a A gabagool cat?
Yes, Bagua cat.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
I believe the den mother calls this one the Duke of Lion.
He said Duke.
Yes, I said Duke. And once again, I'd say I will not take scale or force you to leave behind. But, urgent request for the safety of yourselves. Maybe not take it with you.
I don't think the ghoul is gonna come after us.
Maybe. You are small and diminutive. Not the big and prideful target like the big Ashwalker dragons that live here. But that is merely
So
all
the
I
big
wish to say.
fish, how many of them were there?
How many big fish were here?
Yes.
I only see the green one. Once or twice. You go a bit more that way, and he points off to like the northeast. You'll find a whole cluster of red ones. All
Have you
very
seen a black
angry.
one?
A black one lives further down. I believe it makes home in near Gavril.
And they all fought with each other, or they fought the cat?
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. The most Ashwalker have big brain to know not to fight Pagul.
Mm-hmm.
But many Ashwalker, no brain at all. Not smart. Not like me. I know that the green one has attempted to fight the Duke. Not so good. You see the scales down there. One big Bagul paw to the flank. Tear the scales off this dragon's hide. Now, Big Green goes and hide itself. I believe it ran down the ravine that way. And he points to the east. I can't say much about the red ones or black ones you have inquired about.
Well,
Understandable. Well,
Moya has the scale.
I have the scale.
we thank you for the advice, and we will have it in mind.
That is all I ask. Now you know, Fur, run along. You're young. You have things to do. Many things to learn. Many, what's called, children to make. Whole lives ahead of you.
Chud snorts. Walks away.
Goodbye, funny lizard man.
Yeah, goodbye, no fur child. He raises his hood and he starts to walk further down the ravine towards the west. Do you guys return to camp?
Yep.
Okay. The camp is not dying down, but winding down as kids are beginning to do some studies here and there. Some are practicing their cantrips. Most are just lounging around talking about the things that they've seen and, oh, it's so cool to be out here in the hills, blah, blah, blah. Melodin sees you guys and flags you down. Oh. What mysteries has our little friend have to speak with you?
The dragons weren't fighting each other.
Oh.
The Gabagool.
The Gabagool.
The green was fighting a lion Nicandra.
Lion Nicandra. It's the first I've ever heard of such a thing. And what of the stout one? I imagine he gave you this information for free?
As an advice,
He was a dragon kobold.
he said the lion Nicandra considers the scales as his property and might come for it.
Oh dear. Surely you do not have the scales on you still.
I have
The
it.
green ones, we do.
I see. Well, I would advise you to immediately hand those over so they can be disposed of.
I give it over.
Good. Well, that is a crisis well averted. Did he mention? He did not mention the others, though, correct?
He only mentioned the ghoul?
He only mentioned the green one. He didn't know about the black and red ones, no.
I think the green one's his master.
Maybe it is best if we got rid of all of these scales for now. Very well. You four have done a good service for the lot of us. I will be adding these to your credits at the end of our trip. You are free for the day.
Woohoo!
Oh, yes. One more thing. I guess I should make an announcement. Everyone gather around! As his voice becomes supernaturally loud for a second. Now, everyone. It seems that there might be a Nicandra about the hills. So, you are all to wear the heaviest robes you can. And make sure you are inside at nighttime. What do Nicandra seek? Anyone?
My
Flesh?
flesh and bone.
Exactly. And how do they seek them? One of the students, Julia, who's known for casting sleep, they see it from they see our skin as colors. Yes, exactly. Now, be sure to hide your skin, your flesh, your eyes, and all that while you are out and about until further notice. Wouldn't want anyone being devoured. Now, I must go collect those scales. Carry on to your duties, and if you've retrieved any scales today, please bring them towards me.
It's time to wear a burqa.
You guys go about the rest of your night. Do any of you choose to do some studying of spells?
Yeah, let's study
perhaps?
so we don't fuck up dragons again.
I will also study.
Yeah, just roll intelligence checks.
I will practice with one of my kids.
Right.
I will study.
And the herbs I collected.
All right.
See what happens.
changes I made to my sheet didn't fucking save. God damn it.
Gotta press the save button.
I wasn't expecting my computer to blow up.
Oh, yeah. Never expect that. You guys all do your studies diligently, except for Moya. Moya is distracted. What are you distracted by, Moya?
I was using the scale as padding.
And you didn't give up the scan?
And she did. Now she's flat. I'll let you fool around with the poisoner's kit?
Yeah.
From some of the books you've read back in Sheffield about alchemy or apothecary stuff, you know that with the, what was it? Dragon's Wort and Wolf's Bane, you can make a somewhat acrid or sourish poison that has little effect on humans aside from making them minorly ill in a day of, I don't know, like a stomach flu kind of illness that will last for maybe about a day.
I will give this to Chad.
But you know, this is much more effective on therianthropes.
Since there's no Rowan to try it out on.
Right. The sun begins to drop from the sky. You'll see Master Meladin casting spells on the edges of the camp. Whenever you guys go out and do field trips, you know, they're alarm spells. They're for him to know if something is approaching. So nobody has to be out looking out for whatever may be lurking in the night. You know, there might be a Celiax out there somewhere nearby. Or dragons.
That would be silly.
It was a terrible pun.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that would be quite silly.
So this is how many years after the first campaign we played? The Route 1, the Silk Road?
Silk Road is 18 WP in spring. So this is like two months?
2 months after?
Mhm.
Where did my rogue end up in after that? I don't remember.
I think I gave you guys a choice to work for what's her name?
The nameless one.
Yeah. What's her no name?
No, I remember I became a cat and then I went to a village to like settle down.
You became a cat boy. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know where Seko went. Did you go back to Kivis? The Therianthrope village?
No, because I remember I'm from here, so my
Yeah, you're
cat
from-
should also be here.
You're from the lowland area, maybe a little bit north of Lowland
Okay.
Village, somewhere around here.
So my cat is not here then.
Not in this direct area, but Bert might be. If no one's killed
Oh
him.
yeah. Bird should be to the west. I thought I was a Highlander, that's why I was asking.
Nah, you're lowland. You guys are lowlanders. Sometime in the dead of night, you hear the whistles of magical sirens. Every once in a while, this happens. Usually, it ends up being a random scavenger or a dog kobold or just some lost wanderer. But you also hear a dreadful roar, followed by an explosion.
Shut Jack will roll over and ignore it. It's
You know,
nothing.
when we're older, we'll get to have fun fighting things like that.
And now screams. As the roars sound as if they're right outside your tents. Followed by the sounds of magic. The familiar voice of Meladin shouting his spells, and the unfamiliar voice of Yarngren also shouting his spells.
The seven hells.
I check outside.
You look outside, Moya. You'll see in the middle of camp, which is empty and is usually where you guys set up like your school studies area or your lunchtime area and stuff like that. There is a large lion-esque looking creature. Maybe about the size of a school bus. It is almost completely purple. It has a mane that looks more like spikes of white, a long tail with a barb at the end, and two wings that look like claws. Reaching out from this creature are a bunch of small tendrils, maybe about the thickness of a half-inch thick rope. And in those tendrils are some of your fellow classmates.
I know this attack pattern.
Well, I hope they got that creepy Jorket.
I was thinking the same thing. I was going to say, oh, just let me know if Jorkins in the two claws.
Jorkin is nowhere to be seen.
You know, maybe we should wait until Jorkins, yeah.
One of the eyes on its face opens up right on the side, and it looks directly at you, Moya, as you see the golden iris light up. And a tendril comes shooting out for you.
Okay.
Make me a grapple check.
That would be a strength, right?
Strength or dex?
Dex. I do.
Dex is half, though. Unless you're a grappler. A wrestler. I'm sure neither of which you are.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't do too well. As you try to slip away from the tendril that shoots out at you, it grabs you, first by the wrist, and then it starts to snake down your arm and wrap around your chest and neck. It lifts you up off the ground. You see that you are one of about 6 prisoners in this lion's grasp.
Yeah, Moya is pretty pissed off. Like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. It was pretty easy to grab, huh?
You'll notice one of your classmates that are in the creature's grasp is casting finger spells at it. You'll see little sparks of fire bolts blasting off against this creature, and most of them are bouncing off of its thick rubbery hide.
I cast Toll the Dead.
Alright. The creature will make a saving throw. And it will pass. You, however, get to do damage.
Yeah, I do.
It's D8, I think?
Yeah. Oh no, it says here the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8.
Or take. That's right. It's a cantrip. Well, you try to toll the dead. You hear the ring of the bell lash out, but nothing happens. The eye that was on the side of the head no longer focuses on you and starts to scan the area. Who else came out to look at what was happening?
I will hear the screams and I will cover myself in blankets, lay down in fetal position until everything is over.
Were we told what to do if anything like this happens?
I don't care. I am a coward.
Yes, Claude. In situations like this, you are to cast your strongest spells and attempt to flee.
Okay, we could just flee without attracting its ire then. Because we're in a tent.
Okay. What do you do?
Do you guys, how about we go through the back of our tent?
You also know that Moya is caught up in this.
I will peek out of the tent and try and poke the creature in the eye with firebolt.
Alright. Go ahead, roll. Roll to hit.
Fuck me.
You peek out of the tent and you attempt to firebolt the creature. You only have a +1.
It's intelligence modifier.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
My rolls were abysmally low. That's like the highest I have.
Well, that's fine. That's the purpose of this campaign. Is to be completely helpless. No wait. Wait, no, this is the wrong person. Yeah, +1. You shoot your spell off in its direction, and it completely misses. It's almost as if nothing happened.
You know?
Do we have any sharp objects that we can use to like cut the canvas of our tent?
You probably do. In response, though, one of the lion's eyes opens up, and it will see you. This time, the eye opening up on its shoulder, and a tendril will fly out at you, Chud. Please make a grapple check.
That's strength mod, right?
Strength score.
Strength score.
You try your best, and you feel like you're about to get away, but the tendril does grab hold of you. First binding around your arm, and then around to your chest and to your neck, and it lifts you up off the ground. You'll notice that you are one of 8 prisoners, I believe. It was 6 plus Moya. Now it's 7. Now it's 7 plus you.
Chad is beside himself. He cannot believe that something is happening.
Claude?
You know what? Rather than trying to run away, which might draw its attention, we're gonna pull an Ava. We're just gonna sit under the blanket and try to not expose any flesh.
All right. You'll hear Meladin cry out, "Unhand them, you beast!" As his voice begins to reverberate through the air. You can feel it vibrating through your very soul. A bright light flashes out, and you'll see a small, contained explosion that reaches out no more than about 2 feet wide. Hit the creature right in its face. The white mane, the top of it shatters. They quickly regrow afterwards. The beast, which you assume to be the Duke of Lions, lunges forward at Meladin. And another spell erupts in a brazen fury as Yongrin casts what looks like a lightning bolt. Do you, Chud and Moya, attempt anything during this time?
Can I try and firebolt one of its eyes again?
Go for it.
Fucking over.
Yep, that's pretty over. Moya?
I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead again.
Alright. It rolls its save. It saves. You hear the bell ring, but nothing happens. A lot of cantrips here doing nothing. You hear Meladin chanting a spell. Yongrin casts another mighty lightning bolt at the creature. The creature shudders as this lightning bolt travels through him. The electricity tickles you, it doesn't harm you, and then you feel the grasp of the tendrils tighten. Do you two wish to do anything?
At this point, I will quickly throw out the shard of dragon scale I have out of my tent and then go back to my fetal position under the blanket.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Let's start charging the canny trippy.
Okay. What are you doing?
Just charging it.
You're charging?
Charging the Blazor.
What are you charging?
Ekavera.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the 5 fragments.
You hear sort of a fizzle and a whistle as one of these fire bolts coalesce into existence and starts to float above you.
I'm Kael'thas Sunstrider. And this is Magister's Terrace.
Meladin continues to chant some magical words as Yongrin fires off a chromatic orb in the form of fire as it crashes with one of the tendrils carrying one of the kids, and the tendril snaps at its contact point. The kid falls to the ground as they try to fight off this leathery, goopy, leathery tendril that was once holding it. What do you guys do?
I cast Toll the Dead again.
All right. It passes. You hear the bell, but nothing happens. Judd?
Chud is giving up. Nothing will happen. he's accepted that nothing will happen, and he's either gonna die, or the creature will fuck off.
If he dies, would that be considered something?
Maybe that's the only thing that will ever happen in life is that he dies.
Okay. Claude?
Add 2 more.
All right. You hear the charge of the fire sizzling. As you have, I think, 4 full bolts now.
Yes.
All right. Meladin's chant begins to become even more loud as the dial is turned up to like 66 out of 100. The blurringly loud system sounds that keeps returning itself to full volume.
Well, to be fair, Mage Hand does say a point within range. It doesn't say you have to see the point.
You have to direct it.
You don't have to see it, though.
Yeah, but you gotta see what you're doing. Well, regardless. What are you guys doing? As the lion tries to lunge forward, Yongrin casts a spell, and it's a violent wind that holds it back. as the white pieces of bony mane, start to fly off in a direction. Well, fly off away from Yongrin and Melodin. Moya.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I try thunderclap now.
Alright, Thunderclap is a save again. You clap thunder, and its grip is still holding you tight. It's very loud though. It does turn its head towards you in annoyance, and the tendrils squeeze you harder. You take 1 point of damage. Chud?
Let's add the
Hang on.
5th. Okay.
Judd is resigned to his state of nothing. Claude?
Let's add 1 more and then miss all 5.
Alright. Are you gonna fire them off?
Yep, and we're gonna miss them all.
Alright.
So is it one roll for each one?
1 roll for all of them.
Okay.
They all fire at the same time. That will hit, actually.
Man, I was hoping it would miss. It would have been funnier. Let me just get the actual number. That's fabulous. Okay.
We happen to have a mirror in my tent.
If you would carry a mirror, then you have a mirror. 5 firebolts fly out fabulously from the tent, striking into the lion.
No, fabulous is the 2nd level spell. This is fierce.
Fearsome.
Fearsomely.
5 fearsome firebolts fly out from the tent, striking the lion in the shoulder. It sees you, and it shoots a tendril out in your direction. Please make me a grapple check.
Oh god. We can use acrobatics.
Yes.
Wait.
How do you roll 16 with a 5d8?
Nah. Okay, you know what? So it's strength, athletics, or acrobatics, right?
Yeah. It's supposed to be acrobatics or athletics as an opener. Sorry, everyone's been doing them wrong, but you guys have been failing anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, this one's at least easier.
Yeah. No. It grabs you. You are now suspended in the air. Ava.
Alright, I will. Let's say I do have a small mirror.
Mhm.
I will try to open a. I will try to look out the tent through the mirror,
Mhm.
or like off a reflection of the mirror.
Mhm.
I will cast Mage Hand and bring the scale closer to the lion.
Okay. You bring the scale closer to the lion. Probably within view of the lot of you who are suspended, and I'm guessing you can see this through the reflection. One of the tendrils, a tendril erupts from the beast's flank, and it reaches out for the scale and grabs it. Melodin's chanting becomes supernaturally loud, almost too loud to bear, as it's now actually just vibrating everything within the region. Your tents are shaking, your bodies are shaking. It feels like a small earthquake is taking place. There is a bright flash of light. Everyone roll me a Constitution check.
Check is
So
with
good.
the mod, right?
No, check is with the score.
Scar. Okay.
Bros.
It grows quiet. 2 of you are unconscious. That would be Moya and Chud.
Something finally happened.
Claude and Ava, you guys hit the ground hard. Or at least it would be hard if it weren't for the fact that you landed in what feels like soft, swampy mud.
I mean, I was already on the ground.
Yeah, but you hit the ground. It feels as if for a moment you fell out of the air. You hear nothing but bugs, birds, an occasional strange howl. As you pick yourself up and you're covered in this thick, goopy mud, you look around and you see that nothing is what it used to be. You're no longer in the grassy, hilly area of Valenka. You seem to be in a swamp. There is
Fuck.
no
And
sight
we
of,
see an outhouse and a
There's-
hut.
there's no sight of Meladin. There's no sight of Yongren. The Duke of Lions is not here. And you do not see any of your classmates.
Fuck. Please no deers. Please no deers.
Moya and Chud, give me a luck check, the both of you. Chud? Okay. Ava and Claude, you two also give me a luck check. And then give me a perception check afterwards. Or a wisdom check.
It doesn't matter
Whoa.
which one I gave.
2013. D 2013. Jesus Christ.
Alright.
Ava, you are wrapped with
Very
your
perceptive.
surroundings. You are afraid that you might be in a swamp where there are tales
With
of
deer and rabbits. Yeah.
a silver-horned deer and a horde of vicious rabbits. Claude, you're still trying to get a hold of your situation. You don't really notice much outside of the new region and its new wildlife making noise all around you as you are saturated in swamp mud. What did the 2 of you do, Ava and Claude?
Let's try to get up
You get up.
and look around. Is it like the same time of day? Can we even see the sky in the swamp?
Yes, you can look up and it's almost pitch black. But you can still see there are stars in the sky. It is not overcast. It is still midnight-ish. You believe that was the time. But you also don't see any of your friends. None of them.
We're all alone.
You're all
Wait,
alone.
we're literally separated from each other?
You're the only person standing around where you are.
Were we told what to do by the teacher if this happens?
We got isekai'd. He was a truck kun, but he looked like a cat.
Make me an intelligence check at -2. As you are shaken by this experience. I'm probably still dazed.
We're stupid.
You don't remember. You're panicking.
Who would have ever guessed a guy named Claude is dumb?
You have failed your sanity check.
Well, actually, isn't this an actual anime?
I have no idea. But
I remember this plot.
what are you doing? Pretty sure it's a common plot.
No, this actual plot where a teacher, like a magic teacher, does this to his students to save them from something.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably a common plot, but I have no idea which anime this is. It's not Goblin Slayer yet. I'll tell you that much. Probably won't be. Sadly, shamefully. But what do you do, Abba, as you sit there in the mud, looking for small,
I'll be right back.
fluffy beasts that might tear you to shreds in an instant?
All right, is there like anything that looks familiar or anything that looks like something I would recognize this area with? Like type of tree or something like I would have studied.
Yes. This place looks kind of like your old home in the Freelands, or at least it looks like a swamp typical. It looks like swamp flora typical to the Freelands. Or no, you're a Freelander. You shouldn't have. You shouldn't even have North Common.
I shouldn't have swamps.
I was thinking north. I was thinking northerner. My bad. No, this place is completely unfamiliar, and all that meta information you just received from the dragon. I'm just gonna retcon that in to him
Okay.
just speaking English. No, this looks completely foreign to you. Completely foreign. It is a swamp that you've never seen before. It's not typical of the Dead Marsh, and from what you read, it's not typical of the Dark Marsh either.
Hello.
Okay. What about the? Is there any running water or anything like that in here?
Nope. The water here is all stagnant. It's about shin high, knee high.
Does it hurt?
Does what hurt?
Or does it cause any reactions like stagnant water?
No. It's more muddy. It's more mud than water, but there's some water at the top. Most of what you're standing in is mud.
All right. Would I have studied like the whole like continent map?
Yes. The known world is well known to the lot of you in your studies with the
Okay.
Luton.
So I would guess this is not like the dark marsh, the dead marsh, or the acid marsh, right?
Yes, to the best of your knowledge, this is neither of those.
And the trees don't look anything like anything I have seen in the West
Nothing.
or like the Freelands.
No. There are no swamps in the Freelands. The Dark Marsh they have more, the trees there are more twisted and large.
Mm-hmm.
The Dead Marsh, I mean. The Dark Marsh, their trees are more similar to that you would find in Villador. So more like fir or pine.
Right.
These ones here
What
are
about
very different.
Kiden flora? Do I recognize anything?
It doesn't look anything like Kedani flora. Or Ferrari flora, for that matter.
All right. Anything rosen like Ebon wood?
Nope. Give me a history check. try as you might, as you try to recall any impossible information about this place, you can't think up anything that resembles what you're looking at.
All right. So how cold is it?
Pretty cold. It's colder than Sheffield.
And it's supposed to be summer, right?
Yes,
So we should be in the north then,
possibly.
or in another continent. Okay.
Or in another continent, yeah. That's possible too.
All right. I will just. Is there trees around?
You're surrounded by trees.
Okay, I will mark one of them with my dagger and start moving.
All right. Claude, after you look around and realize you're all alone, what do you do?
Let's pick a direction at random and walk in it.
All right. You start walking, and almost immediately you trip over something. You fall.
What is it?
Actually, give me a dexterity check. You save yourself from getting a mouthful of swamp mud,
Oh, fucking thank God.
but you are covered in mud. You take a look at what you tripped over. Looks like a body face down in the swamp.
Is it Jorkin?
It is not Jorkin. This person has long hair, wearing familiar clothes.
See if they have anything on them that might be useful in this situation.
You touch them. They're warm.
Oh, God damn it, wake them up.
You wake up the person who's face down in the mud. Moya, you wake up.
Oh, holy shit.
Your face is covered in mud. You're spitting mud out. If you're face down
How's
for
the
like
mud
that for
taste?
any longer, you might have drowned. But you are alive and well. You wipe the mud off your face and you see Claude.
How's the mud taste?
Terrible.
Okay, but you were eating sand earlier. How can you judge this?
Okay, where are we?
A swamp.
Oh,
No idea
okay.
which swamp, but I could only assume we're probably in like the dead marsh.
I checked the I checked the swamp like mud.
What do you check it for? Or what are you intending to do with this? What are you looking for? Or it looks like.
Looking for signs of where we are.
Give me a history check. Or a survival check. One of the two.
Okay, hold on.
Holding. Holding.
Huddle.
Hold roll,
Huddle?
Okay, it's history, right?
history, or survival. Holding.
Huddle?
You got no idea where you are. This is mud.
My name is Mud.
Maybe it's dark. Maybe it's the fact that you just almost drowned face down in swamp mud. Maybe it's the pain from having yourself from being squeezed by the Duke of Lions. But this is mud. You got no idea where you are.
Rep.
We're in a swamp.
What do you two do?
What is it, like nighttime or what?
It is nighttime.
It's like midnight.
Okay.
Want to pick a direction?
Yeah, pick a direction. Let's go. Actually, I'll look around to see if there's any moss.
Yes, you can find moss growing off of some of the trees and some of the rocks that are growing out, that are jutting out of the swamp mud. Let's see. I actually have a calendar that I could still be using. I said it was June
Okay.
6th, I think. Fuck.
Okay, I check all the other trees to see where the moss is growing.
That doesn't work in swamps, by the way.
Yeah, the moss is growing everywhere.
Well, fuck then. Okay, pick a direction. Let's go.
Right? You guys pick a direction and go. Ava. As you're moving, you come across a body face up in the swamp mud. It is Chud.
I sigh. Is he out?
He's unconscious. His eyes are closed.
I
He's
will
T-posed.
slap him.
You slap him. This one orange. Chud. You awaken to a swift slap across the face.
Backhanded.
Backhanded slap across the face. You are
What the fuck?
soaked in water, covered in mud. The sky is slowly turning overcast, and it is quite chilly.
Chad startles up.
I cover my nose and tell him that he shit himself.
I look up at the sky. I did not die. This is not heaven. I am still stuck on Earth. I ignore Ava.
Okay?
Where are we?
I don't know. For all I know, we're not anywhere in the world.
Is this purgatory?
I don't know.
I will attempt to sit up.
You attempt to sit up. And it's a little bit difficult because you are sitting in very
This dude is floating in
thick
mud,
mud.
and he's attempting to float to
Yeah.
sit.
Well, when he sits, the mud's at like, I don't know, belly button height for him.
Chest high.
Chest height, yeah, something like that. It's difficult, but you can sit up in this mud that is saturating your clothes.
I will sit up in the mud.
Okay.
One day I'm gonna be able to predict these happenings so that they can't happen. How long have you been here, or have we been here?
I don't know. I just found you. I've been here for like what?
Maybe 5 minutes.
Maybe 5 minutes. Thank you, boys in the sky.
Despite the clouds being overcast, can I tell what time it is?
It's hard to say. It is becoming overcast, but you can see that the two moons, both in their waxing crescents, are slowly being engulfed by clouds. It is the dead of night.
Well, it's still nighttime, so it hasn't been a day or longer. We had to have been teleported somewhere. I'd know the map, right?
Yeah, all of you have studied the world map as quite often. It is often referred to in your studies when learning about history and what you can find in various places.
You think we're in the Dead Marsh?
Nope. I've already studied. This place, it doesn't seem to be anywhere in the map. Or at least I can't seem to put it anywhere in the map. It's not any of the big marshes. It doesn't seem to be like any particular small marsh either. And there's nothing distinct about the trees to make it like any of the weird forests around.
Which direction did you choose to walk in? Or did you not choose a direction? You just kind of went away?
I just went away. I mean, I just spawned here, so I don't really know directions right now.
Well, I guess
You-
we'll keep heading that way. The way
Unless
we're
we
going.
have a North Star in Terra, I don't think we can know directions.
Maybe
the
not a
night.
North Star, but there are constellations that you can use. However, they're slowly being engulfed by clouds.
Yeah.
We'll keep walking in the direction you were going. If we don't find anybody, you can make a bonfire.
All right, you continue to walk. How are you guys? What are your guys' characters' current, I would say, mental states? Everyone give me a wisdom check.
Fucking sleepy, yo. Sleepy and confused.
Roll for sanity, everyone.
Bloodborne.
Claude, you seem to have calmed down a bit. Moya, you're confused a bit.
I have
Not
mud in
one
my mouth.
confused a bit.
It's like we're back home in the bayou.
Actually, yeah, this could be a familiar-ish kind of territory to you in the Earthborn lands.
All we need now is some poutine.
Chud, you are as unshaken as ever, as surely this is nothing, and nothing has happened.
I was in a way, Chud is like mental gymnastics his way around this. He was avoided the happening by being transported here.
Hey, that's weird. Why did that roll happen as Isolde instead of Eva?
Were you clicking off of your character, or were you clicking on Isolde?
I guess. Let me,
It's one of the two.
I guess
'cause
I clicked on
right
Isolde.
now it says that you are Isolde on the players list,
Huh.
so that's probably why. Claude and I was gonna say Raph. Chud, please give me intelligence checks.
Damn,
I don't know,
son.
I've become stupid.
Become
Yeah, it happens to Raft.
Chud. You know, in situations like this, you've been instructed by Master Meladin to use whatever cantrips you can as sort of signal flares. And you will fire them off in particular bursts into the air.
To getting knocked the fuck out for reset any of my cantrips, I think I used 2 fireball shots.
You have a cantrip pool. That's what you're using from.
I should have 4 left. I will shoot a firebolt up into the sky.
All right.
I'm gonna save my last one for create bonfire.
All right. Uh, God damn it! I keep looking at the chat to see you guys' names. And I see the old names sometimes. Moya and Claude. As you guys are walking, you'll see a streak of orange flame fly off into the air in the distance.
I don't get it.
And how many firebolts are you firing, Chud?
Just one
Just one.
for now. That way I can like do another one and then another one and then finally if nobody shows up.
Okay. Well, you guys see the firebolt.
Okay. I am gonna respond with a thunderclap right above me.
Okay. Ava and Chud, you guys hear a burst of noise coming from your south.
I will turn to look at it.
It is the familiar sound of the spell Thunderclap.
Well, let's turn around and head that way.
All right. After a short time, as you trudge through the mud, all 4 of you will reunite.
I think I ate an earthworm.
You ate a lot more than an earthworm.
Yeah, Moya starts picking at her teeth.
You inhaled an earthworm.
I probably close.
They are cylindrical, after all.
Claude, give me an intelligence check. Jeez. I'm
You
not
know,
even
this fucker said to make it so I rolled bad.
I'm not even throwing rose bushes at you.
What the fuck did you do,
My divination
Kyan?
is working
What did you
without.
do? What'd you do,
My
you bastard?
divination is working without the spells. We're so back.
Nothing
The-
ever happens.
The aura of Chud
No.
Jackington making sure that nothing happens.
We're back. Something might happen.
Dude, that's gonna be the bit. The waxing and waning of it's over versus we're back. Things can happen on the we're back phase. Nothing can happen on the it's over phase.
You guys are together. The clouds are starting to roll in, and it is getting quite cold as you are all soaked in mud and swamp water while wearing clothes rated for the summer.
Well, can we find land? I can make us a bonfire and we can just try and feed it with the shit around here. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys
Yep,
can
can't wait to make these swamps explode.
you guys can look around
That won't happen.
and you'll find a small patch of dry-ish ground. It's definitely not like covered in. It's definitely not shin to knee high swamp water, but it's still damp. You could definitely cast a bonfire here, though.
Let me read this cantrip real quick just to make sure. I will create a bonfire.
Right.
On the ground.
You create a
Everything
bonfire.
explodes with I.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, the swamp gas is coalescing. You all boom the end. There goes 4 level 0 characters. Congratulations.
Yep, now make clerics
Do
for
it.
next session.
Do it. Free us from this burden.
Congratulations, you are warm. The fire burns via magic, and Chud. I guess I could just give this to you because this is one of your cantrips that you've learned. You'll know that the bonfire itself has a limited duration. However, it doesn't mean that the fire itself is on a time limit. You can build a fire around the bonfire and create a real fire once it wears off.
Yeah. I will request that my classmates get firewood while I focus on the spell.
Classmates,
Let's go get the wood.
right?
Right, I
Yippee-ki-yay.
thunderclap half a tree down.
You what?
Based?
You thunderclap a tree of smithereens?
I thunderclap a tree in the middle, so half of it goes down.
Thunderclap is centered on you, though.
Yeah, but the tree makes a saving throw and it fails. You crack a tree in half. It's not cracked all the way in half. You maybe need to do like 2 or 3 more times, but you can do it if you wish to.
And you just hear like a fucking thunder every time.
Yeah, just a loud booming thunder, echoing out for 100 or 300 feet. 300 feet. 100 feet. The spell is the bigger one. Yep. You split the tree into multiple pieces, and you can toss them onto the bonfire, and they will eventually catch. You now have a real fire. And it will grant you
We're
guys warmth.
so back.
what do you guys do here in the dead of night in the middle of a swamp? As four
I will be
fledgling mages.
looking around for
Concentrate on not
some
dying.
flora,
hmm
and I will be picking it up.
I'm gonna go look for frogs to eat.
Okay. Wisdom and survival checks from the both of you.
What's nature used for?
Nature is to figure out whether or not something is natural or whether it is supposed to be there. Sort of way. Like have
Is that it's basically what's that druid spell with
more or
hive changes
less.
and
Oh,
what's that
that's the one.
animal?
Oh, okay. Then I should have gone survival.
Yeah, you can change that if you
And
want.
All right.
what's this plant? Survival is you can eat that plant.
Yeah. Moya, you have some luck finding frogs. Now it's a matter of catching them. How do you catch them? Ava,
That's
are
my
you
survival.
looking for anything in particular?
Uh, edibles and like poisonous
You
things.
find some thick-stalked, red-capped mushrooms. They are
Those are
definitely
definitely edible.
poisonous. And then you find a handful, maybe not a handful, but you do find an okay-ish amount of fronds and cattails that you know are both edible.
All right.
Moya, how you catching them frogs?
And you need a rabbit to catch frogs.
The what?
That's true.
There's a rabbit that's really good at catching frogs down in the dead marsh.
Oh yeah.
Catching, not exactly the word. I think the frogs are catching the rabbit.
it's 50-50. Perseus had a lot of strength.
Basically, I'm asking, are you trying to catch them by hand or are you going to blast them?
I'm gonna catch him by hand.
All right. Just give me a flat d20. Yeah, you're able to throw yourself at a couple of these frogs, and you maybe walk away with four or five. Claude, are you up to anything?
I mean we already ate, right? And it's midnight. I
Yeah.
guess probably just using Gust to kind of like push shit around so we can like at least have somewhere to like lay down that isn't, fucking soaked.
Um. Yeah, I think with enough concentrated gust usages, you can dry out the ground here a little bit, but it's still
Now I will
soft.
take a mud bath. I will be moisturized in my lane and buttered.
Still a little soft and muddy, but you can attempt to sleep.
I mean, the two CDs are, making a place for us to sleep and stay warm, and here's Moya catching fucking frogs, just like they catch beetles
Yeah.
and worms.
Do you guys attempt to do anything else, or do you wish to try and bed down for the night?
Nope. I am bringing these frogs. I'm gonna be cooking them. Gonna dress them. I'm gonna eat frogs.
All right. Moya brings
Um,
a midnight snack.
yeah, I'm waiting on Moya.
The frogs be cooking, the ground be drying. You guys can have yourselves a meal of frog for the night. I imagine you will attempt to sleep afterwards.
Oui.
Okay. You guys go to sleep. The sound of the morning fauna awaken you guys. It is a bit
I miss
more
Fauna.
hollering from some unidentified creature, but it's off in the distance somewhere. You don't fear like it's out out to get you. You don't think it's too close by. You just, it's that weird sound like the first time you hear an elk in real life, some sort of hideous eldritch creature. You all awaken. You're still a little cold. The fire has probably gone out in the middle of the night or towards the daytime. And let me click through my calendar real quick to see the weather. Shit, where'd my calendar go? Frick. Oh, there it is. It is now the next day. Oops, that is the year. No. It is now the next day. It is June 7th. It's still quite overcast and it's starting to drizzle. And it is just as cold as it was yesterday, maybe a little colder. You sit here in the middle of the swamp. You see the remains of your campfire. You hear creatures strange and foreign to you. What are you guys doing? How did you guys get here? And how are you gonna get out of here? What has Master Meladin told you to do in situations like this?
What has he told us to do in situations like this?
Why don't
Kill
you...
ourselves. Holy fuck, man.
Wow. Holy fuck. Good lord. How are you doing it? I think I should just make a monster made out of rose bushes and have it attack the camp.
I've looked at my
How is
roll
that
stats.
possible? The
Like-
3 in a row is insane.
3 ones in a row.
Look at my roll stats. I have rolled
We're
13.
never getting out of here.
I have rolled 13 times. 4 of them have been 1.
I mean, that's fine, but 3 in a row is...
4 have been natural ones. That is pretty special, and 3 of them came one after the other.
Something is happening.
You just gotta get good, bro. I don't know what else to say.
I'm gonna fucking kill Kaiman. This is his fault.
Chud
It's
Jackington's powerful aura of nothing. And it's happening.
Well, we could do nothing, sit here and try and, we could just hunker down, wait for somebody to come and find us, or maybe at least until we figure out where the fuck we are.
What if we start a swamp fire?
Burn down the whole swamp?
Then we'll know exactly where we are.
Somebody will know where we are.
And just keep shooting those fireballs up.
I guess you guys had a short rest as well, but I don't think that gives you anything, does it? For this campaign?
2 cantrips.
2 cantrips.
We can, like I said, we can try and make a shelter here and just send off fire bolts every so often, or we could try and make our way out of here. But I don't know where out of here is.
Let's pick a way of going.
Oh no,
and
it's
let's go back.
1d int modifier per short rest plus 2.
Yes, roll those, please.
No, the plus 2 is for a long rest. Never mind.
Okay, so it's 1d int.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1d int
1d int
modifier.
mod.
Oh, so I only restore 1.
If you only have 1, then you get 1.
Yeah, it'd be 1d1.
Well, there's only one answer there.
Only 1 as well.
And Claude, your cantrip pool regeneration.
I've only used 1, so it's just going to be full.
Okay, that's fine. All right, well, go ahead. Continue role playing.
Claude don't know anything. Claude dumb.
I try and wake up early so I can watch the sunrise.
You could not watch the sunrise, for the sun was hidden by the clouds.
Damn it!
Yeah, but where is the sun right now?
Hidden by the clouds.
You can see the sun even if it's hidden by the clouds.
Slightly off center to the west. No, east. No, west. Yeah, west.
Okay,
East.
now we know where west is. So we know where east is. We just don't know where north and south are.
Well, ideally, we'd probably want to head south.
Look, I just know that I'm not going to roll anything. I don't trust it anymore.
Chud will
All right.
agree that you should do nothing.
So I will stand with the sun to my left.
Mm-hmm.
And north should be directly in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And since it's cold, I will say we should go south. But we should also try to find running water.
Maybe we'll be to the south.
Maybe we'll get lucky and find it quickly.
Do you guys start heading south?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as I have the bonfire, I think we can continue to survive for a little while.
Yeah, we're going to go see if we get lucky.
All right.
Yeah, we have about 2 more days before we die of dehydration.
Yep, time to start drinking our own piss.
If only there was a cantrip for that.
In your own.
We didn't pull anything for that.
I know, that's what makes this great. You guys continue.
I pulled fucking True Strike instead.
Hey, you know, well, yeah.
I can aim where I be.
Technically, it won't work because P is not an attack.
It is if I want it to be.
If you declare it an attack, it's an attack. Technically, striking a sign while invisible should pull you out of invisibility because you're directing some sort of force onto an object with the intention of affecting it in a specific way. Regardless, you guys begin making a trek south. It is an eerie trek. I guess I will leave it up to you guys as to who here has experience with one of the major swamps in the world.
That would be like a Black Bloom type beat, wouldn't it?
Black Bloom, if you live near the Dead Marsh, that counts. The Earthborn Bayou is one of them.
Hell no, you live in Lightswatch. His dad's a tinsmith.
We all
Mom's a
live by
baker.
Sheffield. We should all know the Dead Marsh.
No,
Well,
we
you
were
didn't
taken to
necessarily have to
Sheffield.
come from Sheffield. You're just sent to Sheffield.
It's Sheffield, isn't it?
I know, but we all lived in Sheffield for what now? 4 or 5 years?
2.
Okay.
But you've never had a field trip to the Dead Marsh?
Oh, never mind then. I only know forests, so
Okay. So no one here has any experience with actually being in a swamp then. You travel for what feels like 2 hours. You guys stop to take a rest. You'll find a tree that seems to have its limbs are well enough above the swampy marsh ground you can sit upon. There is some moss upon it. Bugs are not frequent, populous in this little wooded area.
what kind of bugs?
Beetles, worms, ants, lots of ants. Every once in a while, you'll feel the prick of a mosquito biting you.
Roll for malaria.
Okay, if there's mosquitoes there, oh wait, there's stagnant water. Never mind.
They're not a lot, but there's just some. Let's see, where is my D4? Chud, as you rest by this tree, make me a perception or wisdom check. Or survival check. Or nature check.
It's gonna be perception because Chud is great at noticing. You know what? Maybe he sucks ass at noticing. Maybe it's all in his head.
Not much of a noticer. You sit down.
You should be proficient. You should be proficient in noticing. Fuck.
You sit down by this tree root. It's nice and dry. Not comfortable, but hey, you're not sitting in the mud. You hear some rustling. Then you look around. You don't see anything. There's really not a lot of things to rustle around here. It's mostly tree and water. If anything was moving out there, it'd be more of a splashing or squishing sound.
I look up in the tree above me.
Rustle my feathers.
You see some vines reaching down. But, I mean, you've seen vines all over this place.
And we'll check behind the tree.
You check behind the tree. Still some vines, more bugs. You'll see a lizard. I'll just skitter across.
I'll tell my comrades I heard something over here.
Comrades?
Wait, are vines something you find in a marsh?
I don't know.
In like the bayous, here, you definitely find them. It's like an invasive species.
Okay, because that's more of a rainforesting.
Yeah, they're vines.
You'll find them on that bayou there, sir.
Can I take a moment and concentrate? Try to like listen around, see if there's any sound of like running water.
Make me a perception check. Yeah, it's just a perception check. Let's say throw a -2 on top of it to try and drown out the noise of the swamp, but it's already gonna be harsh. I said I was gonna wanna, but you threw it on anyway, so I'm gonna leave it with that.
You guys should have learned by now. Not rolling's the correct play.
It doesn't sound like there's any running water nearby. But then you also hear that rustling. It's hard to pinpoint where it's coming from, though.
We should probably switch directions since we've been going south and there's been no signs of running water. We should probably switch to like either southeast or southwest.
Either bearing
Time
is
to go
fine.
east.
No, I think we should go southwest. I don't know why, but I don't like the feeling of southeast.
I think I like southeast.
Yeah, that's it. I'm cursing your rolls again.
Well, yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, let's go.
Which one?
Well, you're the tiebreaker, Ava.
Am I? How is it a tie if there's three of them?
Wait, what direction do you want to go? Whatever. Southeast.
I haven't
is
picked.
I said the same direction as Moya.
Moya. That's right. Look, I'm tired.
Okay, then it's southeast. Then.
I have a Red Bull in my fridge. Tactical Red Bull buy. Wait, nope, that's a
No,
vanilla beer.
no.
Red Bull. Vanilla beers for Dota. Because I'll need it.
Are you sure you want to take a tactical Red Bull 20 minutes before going to sleep?
No. But I have anyway. It is done. What direction are you going? Southeast?
Yes.
Southeast, apparently.
Okay, you guys are heading southeast. Once again, you start trudging through the mud, and the mud feels to get a little thicker. Then after a while, it sort of peters out and just becomes more water than mud. It gets a little bit more difficult to walk through it. You guys stop for a little bit just to get your bearings. Ava, as you guys are pausing your trek, you hear that rustling sound again.
Jimmy Rustlers?
What kind of rustling is it? Like
Mm,
leaves?
it's more like a... If that came through okay.
Kind of like the snake.
It's like a snaky, leafy sound.
Where from? Like can't pinpoint it, right?
Give me a wisdom or perception check. Above you,
I look above me.
there are some vines reaching out to you. And as you look, they thrust themselves at you. Make me a grapple check.
What's that?
Grapple check.
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics or athletics? Acrobatics would be at half value. Athletics will be full value.
Both
So
are
you're-
awful, so doesn't matter.
Don't roll a natural 1.
Holy
Wow.
fuck.
The vines throw themselves at you. You throw yourselves away from the vines. The vines hit the ground or the water beneath you and start to flail about like a snake that just went head first into a stone. All of you see this. Then I guess I can give you this because you seem like more of a botanist, Ava. Roll a survival check. And I'm rolling morale for you. Go ahead and roll it at +2. Those are live vines. They are they're not classified, they're classified as both flora and fauna. They are a vine that are sentient, living, and they have a thirst for blood. They grapple creatures and then sink their tendrils into them and drain them slowly of their blood to live.
Are we in the fucking Feywood?
No, they're not native to the Feywood. They're native to just about every forest and every swamp on Sol.
Huh.
You won't find them in the Freelands. You'll find bigger, nastier ones in the Grasp. And there
So
are
these
none
these
in Foro
aren't
or
the
Keaton.
bigger.
These are not the
These
bigger
aren't the
ones.
bigger one.
These are
Okay.
the normal ones.
Dude, are we in the fucking Bramblewood?
I wish.
Yeah, there's like Minos over there. Isn't that where the fucking Minotaurs are?
I mean, we'd be a lot. Actually, you know what? Oh, what time of the year is it?
Summer.
Because it's cold. For it to be cold in summer, we have to be somewhere very up there. So it's like dark marsh, but like
It's not the
very.
Dark Marsh.
Okay.
So it's not the dark marsh.
Since he's from Light's Watch and has lived there, is this colder or warmer than Light's Watch in the
colder.
summer?
Colder.
Yeah, we have to be somewhere far north.
Yeah, we're
It's
in
like-
Bloodwood or like
There's the acid marsh over next to the Bloodwood.
we're not in the Acid Marsh.
Then it's possibly the Bloodwood or, I don't know, maybe these trees here near the
The
Cradle
live
of
vines
Life.
are creeping toward the nearest living creature.
We could
Right,
just be in the Dark Marsh.
No, we already said it's not the dark
Just
marsh.
burn the fucking vines down.
I run away.
Can we eat the vines?
Fireball the vine.
Go ahead and make an attack
Fireball.
roll against it. You hit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how the fuck would vine have higher AC?
They could be dexterous, but they're kind of flailing about stupidly. You hit the live vines, and they begin to sizzle and snap. They're not dead, but they are reacting violently towards the flames, and they are not making any more moves towards the nearest living creature, which should probably still be Ava.
Kaiman pressed M in the middle of a fight.
Yes, he brought out his map animation. All mechanics
I
are
really
going
hope
on.
we're nowhere near the Dreadfort.
Dude, what in those that batch of trees in the river up north of Terra's Gift?
That's Minotaur land.
The live vines continue to reach out towards the nearest living creature.
Let's
I will
just keep
fireball
going.
them as well.
Let's just keep moving.
Yeah, just keep moving.
All right,
Okay.
well,
You guys keep moving. The vines continue to try and snake after one of you, but it doesn't do too well in this water. After a while, you'll look back and they will retract back into the trees. You continue moving.
Let's keep walking.
After about an hour, none of you even have to make a check for this. You smell. It smells like food.
Like what?
Food. Meat being roasted. Bread being baked.
Well, it's bread, so we know that we're not dealing with Minotaur at least.
You know, there's a lot of bad things that could be living in a marsh trying to cook normal food.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
not
but at least it's not
show
Minotaur.
ourselves yet. Let's see what's cooking.
We're gonna get eaten by a witch.
Also, you two should probably do rock, paper, scissors in case we do find a Minotaur. See which one of you we're
Chat,
leaving
are
behind.
we cooked?
Okay, you know what? Never mind. We're just gonna leave Moya.
Leave Moya behind to become a woman.
Dear God.
Don't worry, she's too small. She'll probably be eaten first. You guys approach the smell of food?
Slowly to try to avoid making as much noise as we can, considering we're kids too stupid to sneak.
Alright. You slowly approach the smell of food, as slow as you can, trying to avoid making noise because you are kids too stupid to sneak. In a small clearing, in what looks like the land having been terraformed in a bit to be less of a swamp and more of a forest, you'll see a small shack. Looks sturdily built, looks rather clean, looks somewhat inviting. There's a small cobblestone half fence that surrounds its little yard area. And the
Okay,
smell
okay,
of
huddle.
food comes clearly from that open window.
Do we knock on the door or do we try to kill whatever inside it first by lighting the house on fire?
All right. Quick question: is there any stories like Hansel and Gretel in Sol?
Kind of, but they're more about uh Nicandra or
I'm not entering any hack fucking
or
house in the middle of a forest.
awoken gnomes are often known to eat people.
Throw a rock at the door and see who comes out.
I am not doing any of that. That's
Moya, go knock on the door.
I'm not
Just
approaching
stare at it.
whoever wants to live in the middle of this fucking marsh.
Could get info, even if we have to kill the person. We could also still all be dead, and this is purgatory.
Moya going to knock on the door would be a good way to find out.
You all know that even in the north, there are still humans and elves that live up here. They are often known as some of the hardiest people of all of Sol, or all of Non at least, but they are creatures of Sol at least.
You know what? I'll go knock on the
Yeah, what could happen?
door.
Whatever could a chud do?
Chud, you approach the door.
Yes.
I will
Nothing's gonna
hide.
happen.
I will
Nothing's gonna happen,
hide.
bud.
Nothing will happen.
I am hiding.
I'm right behind Chad. I'm watching him.
All right, Claude.
I am in fact in all fours, disguising myself as a deer.
Yeah, we're just watching from distance behind a tree.
All right, Chud. You approach the shack and you knock on the door. There is no answer.
No, I
Run
really
in
wanted there
again.
to be an answer.
Man, that food smells good. Roasted meat. bread. They probably got some sort of fermented beverage in there too.
I will check outside the house. I'm gonna go back around and see if whoever owns this house might be in the backyard.
They are grilling in the backyard.
There is no backyard. The backside of the shack rests directly against the clearing.
And you see a few jade statues in the front yard. Though.
Very lifelike jade statues. What is this green skin thing? Wait, they're all green.
Why not use Thunderclap if whatever lives there is nearby?
Well, do you investigate further?
Are there any windows?
There are a couple.
I will peek through one of the windows.
You peek through the window, and inside you see a table set for multiple people. There is a large roast, looks like a cut of mutton, maybe, and beside it there is a bird, fully roasted, stuffed. There are baskets with bread, and there are a few flagons and pitchers set out nearby. When you look around from where you can see, there's also look like very comfortable chairs, some bookshelves.
Do I see a single living soul inside this building?
There is nothing in this building that is living.
Moyo, we're leaving.
I asked,
I
what's
assume-
in there?
Nothing. Absolutely
I mean,
nothing.
what's in there? Something is there? I go over to Chud. I look through the window.
There's nothing good in there. We're leaving.
Moya, you see a table set for multiple people. A nice, well-cooked roast. Well cooked, I would say, medium rare. A big old roasted bird stuffed. There's baskets full of bread. There's pitchers and flagons, all set out, ready for a meal to be eaten. There's a very comfortable-looking chair. There's a bed in the corner. There's a bookshelf. It looks like a nice, humble abode. Very inviting. Very welcoming.
I'll yell out, dare you to go inside, Moya.
I'm trying to drag Moya away.
I can't even. Well, the thing is, I'm hanging on to the windowsill because it's fucking short.
Yeah, we're all wizards, so we have noodle strength.
I will wrap my arms around Moya's waist and try and carry her away.
Can I just actually? Can I look at those books? Can I see the books?
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
There is not a grimoire inside that house.
It's hard
That
to
house
tell.
is a mimic.
The books, they have various colors. Some of them are green, some of them are red, brown. One of them is completely leather bound. They do have some gold sort of inscriptions on the spine. Very fancy stuff.
I hit Chud in the back. Chud, stop! Look at the fucking window.
The what? Your voice is far away.
Look at the fucking window.
What about it?
Read me out those books.
What do I see on the books?
Perception check, please. Or you're not being dragged away. You're not fighting to get away, but you're just looking at them now,
No.
right?
Yeah.
You could read out one of the golden inscriptions on one of the spines of these books, and one of them says like a treatise on modern alchemy, but you can't see anything else or any author. Another one says lands of the old and the folly of man, and you can't make out any of the others.
Moya, whoever set out all this food, let's just assume this house isn't going to eat us. Whoever set this all out and just left it there had no good intentions. I want you to know, I am very, very confident in happenings, and I think actually bad things will happen if we go inside this house. So I think we should leave and just keep heading southeast. Yes? No?
Yeah, hold on. Is so has the kids been taught about illusions,
Um,
hallucination?
uh, you would know in your studies about the schools of illusion and stuff like that. I'm sure one of you or one of your classmates has specialized in becoming an illusion wizard. It's probably something you guys have studied.
What did
Hallucinations, that as well.
what did we all specialize in?
You all should know each other's specializations, so go ahead and say them.
I'm a
Enchanting?
illusion wizard.
Oh, yeah.
Really, or is that just the joke?
I am illusion wizard. I'm an illusion savant.
I don't work
Are
as a
we in
generic.
in an illusion right now?
I don't know.
Go and knock on the cabin door. Does it sound like? What's the door look like it's made out of, and what does it sound like when I knock on it?
I checked the ground. What's the ground? Is it grass? Is it what is it?
Yeah, it's solid, firm grass. There's a little cobblestone walkway from here to the front of the half gate or the half fence.
If it's an illusion, it's very well done.
Yeah, I dig down.
You dig and you'll dig into dirt. I mean, you're digging barehandedly, so it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while, but
Well,
you
the
could
thing is,
scratch through the
we're in
grass and
illusion.
you
We're
could
still in a fucking swamp.
dig through the dirt. And how deep do you want to dig?
I'm just checking for mud.
Yeah, how deep are you gonna dig? Barehandedly.
I just grab as much as I can.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of dirt. You can't get too far without hurting yourself. You want to hurt yourself?
No.
Okay. It's dirt. Let's see, Ava, I guess you could make me a pseudo sanity check with your wisdom check. Should have just made this a sanity check game. Fuck. No, Ava, you hate this situation.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Claude,
I'm still very far away from this place. I don't like this.
you knock on the door, Claude.
I told you people you shouldn't have gone there.
Open the door.
I'm trying to take Moya away.
Claude, you open the door?
Yep.
Okay. You open the door and the full smell of all that delicious food just hits you like a wall. God
Yeah, it's a
damn,
trap.
that smells
It's a
good.
trap.
That's better than cooked frog. And then you find yourself sitting at the table.
I cast puppet on Claude.
You cast Puppet on Claude, but you don't know why you're doing that, because you too are also sitting at the table.
Damn it.
So are you, Chud.
It's fucking over.
Actually, do I still have him? Do I still have him? Have I still casted puppet on him?
You're about to, but now you don't know or remember why, because in one hand you have a fork full of roasted mutton, and in the other you have a flagon full of sweet wine.
Claude's a vegan.
Claude, you're dead. You have you have a handful of bread roll and a flagon full of sweet wine.
I have a fork in my hand, right?
Yeah, we don't drink alcohol. It's forbidden.
Okay, there's a barrel of potable water in the corner. Chud, you're also at the
We
table.
I refuse to eat.
Who
This
am I
isn't
next
happening.
to? Am I next to Claude?
Yeah.
I stab his hand with a fork.
I'll count as a surprise attack. Go ahead and roll
fucking ow.
roll a d20 against 10.
Like a D20 plus what?
Do you have any strength or dex?
Mm, I have 11 decks.
D20
That's up.
plus 0 against 10.
Oh, okay.
You miss completely.
Yeah, ends
Your
up
fork hits
stabbing
the
me in the
table.
fucking. No, instead of stabbing me in the hand, he ends up stabbing me in the side.
Ava, what you witnessed happened is Claude opens the door and then he walks right in of his own free will. Moya looks like she was about to cast a spell but stopped and followed Claude in. And Chud also followed Claude in. At around the same time, Claude passed through the threshold of the door. They're all inside. The door's closed behind them.
So this happened when I opened the door?
Yes.
Can I see through the window from outside?
Yes.
Okay, I will cast Thunderclap.
Okay. You guys hear a loud noise from outside that rattles the windows.
Okay.
I attempt to get up from the table.
Yeah, I try and get up as well.
Same.
You'll get up.
I go to the front door to try and get out.
You go to the front door to try and get out. As you pass by this luxurious chairs, rather, a bookshelf full of books, and then the front door. The door's closed. You don't even remember how you got in here or whether anyone closed the door behind you. But you'll see an inscription on the door. It is rather fancy. It is in what looks like a golden plate, and the inscription itself is made of silver. It says, "Be not afraid, nay, be exhilarated, for you have been chosen to test your mettle in the greatest of games. Seek out the ruins of Manus' demise, the lost city of Meldoon, and place your hand upon the fallen throne of the Emperor King to prove your worth and claim the glory granted to you upon I, Conadius Darfor. Conadius Darfor, Grand Alchemist of the Second Era, father of alchemy, and founder of the Big Ten."
Can I make a history check to see if I recognize any of these names and like an idea of where this might be based on it?
Yeah, I want to make a history check as well.
All right. You all instantly recognize the name Conadius Darfor. Your master has spoken of him many times when it comes to the subject of alchemy. He usually refers to him as the least stupid of the Big Ten and or rather, the Big Three at the end of the Second Era of Chaos. Beside him
And the most
being
stupid's Kalulu, right?
beside him being Kululu, and Nard the Stone Axe, no, Nard the Hobbler Stone Axe. He is a crazed alchemist. Very good at what he does, but a psychopath. As for
Do we?
you, what?
I was gonna say, do we have like an idea of where he operated?
He operated all across Seoul, mostly in Central before the creation of the Tannen Wastes, He operated a lot near what is now Tannenwatch and Westwatch. And then during the War of Man, he operated in the Badlands mostly. And then he disappeared sometime towards the end of the War of Man.
Okay, can we make a history check on the other names?
Yes, you may. Okay, Claude. Anyone else making history checks?
Sure.
Chud.
Is your
Moya?
last name Ranslet because you're a mini Rans?
No, because I was thinking of the worst sounding names I could.
It's Ron Slay.
Oh.
Moya, you want to make a history check? That's just a 7.
Based. 7.
Moya, the history escapes you. As for the other two, Manus's demise is often what is referred to as the moronic attempt for the air quotes explorer king Manus to create a human city in the middle of the Northlands. That city is the lost city of Meldoon. Well, most people know where it was originally. Nobody knows where it is now because it disappeared. And it wasn't that far north, actually. It was actually a little ways to the northeast of Caliburn's Folly, around here at this ping. But it is no longer there. Many people
Do we
have
know if there are
looked
any
for where it
swamps in that
was.
region, though?
There are no known swamps in that region because
Well, I
this
mean,
map is of
anywhere
unknown
that
world.
anywhere that there's water and trees, there could possibly be a swamp.
The
Who knows
closest
how
place,
long?
the closest big body of water near Meldoon, or at least where it was, is that lake directly north, 3 squares north to where Meldoon used to be. But many people have come out here to Caliburn's Folly to look for Meldoon, to find traces of it, survivors, etc. None have found Meldoon. Meldoon has just picked up and left, is what they say. And that's where we'll end today's game.
Oh Lord.
I feel the correct thing to do at this point, though, is we just go hard south since we at least have an idea of where we could be now. We either run into mountains or
Not
we run into...
really.
Well, we assume we're in, like, the northeast, so if we go south, we either run into mountains or a river.
No, we walk into a giant crocodile. You will probably try to kill it.
We're gonna walk into Tide Hunter, and he's gonna be like, "I'm so hungry, I could eat a small child."
I'm so hungry, I can eat a grade schooler. All right, well, that is
Hi, Chris Hansen, this man.
your first game as 0th level wizards, 0th level child wizards. You found yourself in the middle of a swamp. You're all spooked. At least one of you is thoroughly spooked. And now you have no answers as to where you are. Kind of. That's today's game. Congratulations.
Holy fuck, everyone!
Yeah, I think we play 0th level from now on.
I mean,
I'm
not against making this an actual long form campaign, but this is just a test to see if I can play Thursdays. And if it goes well, you guys can continue this. But I do have some things in mind for what I wanted to do with this campaign. I might not do them if you guys want to continue as 0th level wizards, and we'll play it normally. It's up to you guys.
And
I do like seeing you guys all be weak and helpless in the worst kinds of ways.
See,
I'm
I
the worst
think
kind of DM.
putting us at like level 4 or 5 is funnier first off, because Valulu's that level.
Yeah,
But
okay.
second, because then you can
Yeah,
use
okay,
our
then.
own confidence against us.
Well, it'd be using your confidence against everyone else, actually.
Oh fuck no, I'm taking fucking gentle repose and revivify the moment I can. I don't fucking trust you.
Yeah, so you can revivify the enemy.
No, so I can say, let us go and I'll revivify them so you can have them.
I think that
Enjoy
went
your
well.
new slave in exchange for our life.
Well-ish. Next time, since I guess we're thoroughly set up, it won't take so long to actually get into the game. So, might have more playtime next time.
You know the craziest part of this is?
Hmm.
Haku had his character sheet ready.
Everyone was here on time, sheets ready, ready to game.
That was a surprise. I will say I did find it a bit hard to think. I'm not sure if that's because of me being tired from doing stuff or me being tired from the crippling insomnia that I'm constantly fighting off.
The great
Just stop playing
snooze.
Dota.
I want to play more Dota.
Play less Dota.
Nah,
It's
I saw some shit
horrible
today.
games.
I saw some shit today. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play Naga 4 and Slark 4. That's gonna be fun.
No, 9 class. Everyone's playing Naga 4. I don't get why everyone's like, fuck, this shit's. I guess it's like Wind Ranger in the sense that you can just build a Bloodthorn on her and she's as effective.
I think a lot of it is about the actual ganking and counter ganking setups. And if you are capable of timing it, you can get a single person to BKB and then sing, and then now they're your bitch for the entire duration of their BKB. And the other team and the enemy team, if they haven't used any of theirs, your team could just wail on the BKB user.
Yeah, the song is. I was gonna say that the song is a good setup. The reel in is like not bad if they don't have hard CC to punish you for it. But she just seems so squishy.
Yeah, she's a 4, she's not a fighter. She's there to ensnare and to sing. But aside from that, how'd you guys feel about the game so far?
It was fun. I should have known better than going into the house, but I guess we'll find that out next session.
Well,
I shouldn't have even broached it.
honestly, the house was the hook. So I was trying to figure out how to get you guys in there anyway. I figured it was going to be at least one of you would enter and then realize, you know, guys, there's food. I'm eating. And at least one of you would have seen the sign afterwards. But I just decided if one of you actually opens the door, everyone who's within the fence is just going to be inside, whether they like it or not. So there's that. All right.
He wasn't expecting the coward.
I was not expecting the max amount of cowardice. But, well, I mean, you guys are the 0th level. And although it
We're like
says
young 0th levels wizards.
although the 0th rules says there are saving throws, we don't have saving throws anymore. You're just gonna follow regular bleeding out rules if you ever fall to 0. If. Not saying that'll happen, but if. Aside from all that, yeah, next week we're good. Next week at anywhere between 6:30 to 7:30. Next week being June 5th.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'm turning this off.